You ever look at something brand new, something you just got, and have that instant gut feeling of, oh, this is all wrong? Yeah, we've all been there. It's this powerful, immediate judgment. Well, today, we're going to unpack that exact moment. We're going to use a simple story about a kitchen appliance to explore a huge flaw in how our own minds work. And it all kicks off with a guy named Raghav.
So meet Raghav. He's just had a brand new chimney installed in his kitchen, and he is not happy. The second he lays eyes on it, he's just hit with this wave of frustration, even anger. And his reaction, it isn't just a little bit of disappointment. No, it's a full-blown snap judgment.
Raga's outburst is the perfect example of what you could call a mindless judgment. You know what I'm talking about? It's that split-second decision our brain makes, this emotional verdict that lands way, way before we've even had a chance to look at the facts.
And just look at how specific his complaints are. He has this incredibly rigid, pre-existing idea in his head of what a chimney is supposed to look like. It's got to be flat. It's got to be at head height. It has to be directly over the stove. And because this new design doesn't fit that mental blueprint, he immediately jumps to a conclusion. It's useless. It can't possibly work.
Now, get this. The technician, the expert who literally installs these things for a living, tries to explain. He says, hey, this is the latest design, it's filterless, it's made specifically for Indian cooking. But it's just no use. Raghav's mind is already slammed shut, he's made his judgment, and now he's basically deaf to any new information that contradicts it.
So what does he do? He doubles down. He starts looking for any little thing to confirm his regret. He convinces himself he's made a terrible mistake, that the shopkeeper totally tricked him, and he grabs the phone to send it back. He's acting decisively, sure, but his entire decision is built on feelings, not facts. But this is where the story gets really interesting. Raghav's little world of certainty, it's about to get cracked wide open by a couple of totally unexpected outside opinions. Just then, his neighbor pops in. And his reaction? It is the complete polar opposite. I mean, not just neutral, but glowing. He looks at the exact same appliance and says, wow, what a wonderful design. This is the first piece of conflicting data that Raghav can't just brush aside. And here's the absolute key to why they see it so differently. For Raghav, the slanted design is just wrong. But for his neighbor, who happens to be taller, that slant solves two real-world problems he always has with old-school flat chimneys. He's always hitting his head, and they block his view of the pots. So the exact same design is either a huge flaw or a brilliant feature. It all depends on your personal context. Okay, so the neighbor's comment planted a little seed of doubt. But the final piece of evidence, the real game changer that flips Raghav's entire perspective, comes from some good old, practical, real-world use. The next morning, his wife uses it. And what does she find? Her feedback completely demolishes Raghav's main complaint. That slant he thought was a stupid design choice, it's actually the key to how well it works. It perfectly funnels all the oil right into the collection tray. The design isn't just about looks, it's incredibly efficient. And just like that, the case is closed. When the shopkeeper calls back, Raghav has done a complete 180. And his admission, it says everything. I did not understand the design concept. He finally realizes his harsh judgment wasn't about a problem with the product, it was about a gap in his own understanding. Okay, so let's zoom out here, because this is about so much more than a kitchen appliance. Raghav's little journey from rage to realization perfectly illustrates a powerful and really common cognitive bias that gets all of us. It actually has a name, the fallacy of premature judgment. It's just our brain's tendency to leap to a conclusion, totally fueled by our gut feelings and the ideas we already have in our heads, long before we've actually gathered the facts. That's exactly what happened to Raghav. So the million-dollar question, how do we stop ourselves from falling into this trap? Well, the good news is Raghav's story actually gives us a really clear, practical framework we can use. First, and this is the hardest part, pause that instant emotional reaction. Just take a breath. Raghav didn't, and it sent him spinning. Second, go looking for new information. Don't just look for stuff that confirms what you already think. Third, and this is so critical, listen to different perspectives. The way Raghav eventually had to with his neighbor and his wife. Their different points of view revealed the design's true value. And finally, you have to be willing to reevaluate, to actually change your mind, just like Raghav did when he admitted he was wrong.
And there's one last really powerful lesson here, and it comes from this shopkeeper. He reminds Raghav, hey, I've been your guy for 20 years. Our snap judgments don't just mess with our understanding of things. They can seriously damage our trust in people who've actually earned it.
So, in the end, this was never really about a chimney, was it? It's a metaphor for how we approach anything new or unfamiliar. A new strategy at work, a complicated idea in the news, or even our first impression of a person we just met. That same mental trap is always right there, waiting for us. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Think about your own life, your job, your relationships. What's the chimney in your life? What's that one thing you've already made your mind up about where maybe, just maybe, you don't understand the full design concept just yet?